Hello, and welcome to the Inventors Arena. I'm Ed, and this is Scott. Today we're going to discuss how can I be efficient in my inventing. Scott, take it away.
Yeah, as an inventor, when you're starting out, you need to be efficient and effective with the resources that you have, because oftentimes you have limited resources, at least in the early stage. And it's important that you think all the way through. We call it strategic planning. You design a strategy, a business plan with strategy is what we recommend all the way through to the end. And the sooner you can do that in the process, the more efficient and effective you will be.
Yes.
And we have found that more inventors are successful if they start with that end in mind and work backwards, and they make sure they get all of their things in place throughout their journey.
Yes.
So that's kind of important to do that. We also have to talk about money. We always have to talk about money, right? The budgeting, the investor, the profit, it comes up as a regular theme because it is important in this process. And from an inventor standpoint early on, if you want to be very efficient, you have limited funds often in the very beginning. So you need to create a budget, a realistic budget that you think will get you through until either revenue generation or you can bring an investor on board and make sure that you have a plan in place and you stick to that plan all the way through. We've seen a lot of inventors not be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing. It's very... takes discipline to do that.
It does.
You got to have that plan. There's just so many people that go into doing something without a plan and without a budget, and that's just kind of a recipe for failure. Really.
Build it and they will come, right?
Yes.
So.
And I think it's so important that you get started right. It's always great to start with a patent search. The USPTO doesn't ever require it and so forth, but it gets you a good idea what's already out there, what's been patented, what's had applications applied for on it. You can see what's done well, what hasn't.
And that will help you when you sit with investors and they ask you about the competition and what other products are out there, because you will have done your search and you will know the answer to that question.
Yeah, and for them and for yourself, you're minimizing your risk because you're being knowledgeable on what's out there, what you have to do in response to that. And I think it's also wise just to do even an internet search,
Sure.
See it's out there. Because a lot of people start by inventing something and they're like, oh, there's nothing out there in the world like this. And, sometimes a 5-minute internet search, not even a patent search. Yeah. And it's like, this is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that you got a little bit of freedom to be able to go ahead on what you've got planned or to make some change, some improvements, whatever you got to do. And you also should next be checking out the market, because you can have the most patentable, wonderful thing. And if there's not a market for it or it's not marketable, then you're not going to be able to make money from sales and in turn make money and develop your products. So I think that's very important. And so I would evaluate your patent search findings and make sure your product is marketable right off the hop, really quick in the game, so you're not chasing good money after bad and not wasting time and effort, but knowing that you're on a good project and then putting your all into it.
Yeah, when you say what is patentable, oftentimes you mean what is unique or a little bit different, and that's important to investors.
Yes.
Because they... if they see something similar to whatever is out there, now you're competing head to head.
Yeah.
And they're looking for kind of a unique niche or something like that that's revenue generating, that is kind of blue ocean, so to speak. It's, nobody is making money in that space. And if you can do that and you can create an idea that is patentable, well, that's also an asset base when it comes time to sit down with the investors and they say, okay, the USPTO also agrees that you have a unique thing that's different from what the competition is doing.
Yeah, and your patent can be a tool. It can be something that you use in the marketplace for your company, or it can be something that you license out. It's got value. It's just got intrinsic value to it.
It does. It has value. That means it's marketable either all the way through to manufacturing or selling the patent or licensing the patent. There's some monetary value associated with it. and investors like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And it also means that you probably are on your way on the journey to success for revenue generation.
Sure hope so, right?
Yeah. And that's important. That's an important measure along the way. So you want to know what you're good at, okay, along the way. So as an inventor, you may be good at creating the idea, the concept, but you probably, and as we have learned, likely don't have all of the skills that you need to get you all the way through where you need to be. You need to identify that early on and make sure as you're doing your plan all the way to the end that you find your gaps and you fill those gaps.
Yeah, with good team members.
Yes. I mean, you cannot do this alone. How many inventors have we seen try to do it alone and they reach an obstacle that they can't overcome because they've never done something before?
Yeah.
You know, they've never written a business plan, or they've never negotiated with investors, or they've never filed a patent. So they get frustrated and they stop. That's the wrong approach.
Yeah, and it's not a slight. I think a lot of people think in life that you want to be great at everything, and it's not a slight if you're not. I mean, I know what I'm good at and what I'm not, and I'm happy to say, you know, Scott's great at business, and I'm not good at making a business plan, or I'm not good at doing 3D drawings or whatever it is. However, I'm really good at doing the patent, or I'm really good at, making the prototype or whatever it is. So I think it's just coming to a realization of that in a humble way and in a good way. And you can get some really great help. People that are, as good as you are at making a business plan, somebody over there is as good as that at making 3D drawings, and somebody as good at that at marketing, and you need all those pieces. So it's really not realistic to ever think that you're going to be good at it all.
Yeah.
You really got to know what you're good at, and then just seek out the rest of that help that you need, and pick great team members that are great at doing stuff. And you don't have to be, thick as thieves together. It's super, super tight, but you got to be able to work together well and explain to each other and really be a team, right?
Yeah. And a mentor. We often talk about having a great mentor, someone who has been there and done that. So as you reach those stages where you're frustrated, you can email or pick up the phone and they say, "Oh yeah, I've been there. I know what you need to do."
Exactly. That just takes the burden off sometimes when you need it the most, right?
Yeah.
And I think, when we're talking about planning, it's planning what you'll do. It's so important. So make a list of what your project will consist of, right? That's a good idea.
Make a list all the way through to the end, and a budget that goes along with it.
And decide from there, there's going to be all kinds of tasks, all kinds of specialties, skills, deciding what you will do, what you will do and what will be delegated to somebody else. And you really want to be particular on your team so you can have really good teammates. Yeah. And that helps you be realistic time-wise, because I think one of the big things that inventors run into is they just run out of, quite often they run out of money, but they run out of time and just like that oomph to get it done, because it's just like they're just running into this. It's, they're trying to draw 3D drawings and they're trying to do the accounting in the middle of the night, and they're just trying to do all these, wear 20 hats, and it just sucks them down to where they're not very efficient or effective at doing anything. Yeah. So
they do get bogged down.
Yeah.
And that can be frustrating when you reach those different points. Those are the days when you think, well, maybe I'll just get a job. And that's not the right answer. The answer is to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah, really specialists, right?
Yeah, find those people who can do what you can't. Mm-hmm. So figure out what your core competency is, then figure out in your plan what you need to get you all the way to the end, and then go out and find those people that have those specific skill sets and mindsets that you can rely upon. So maybe you bring them in as a team member. Maybe they're your mentor. Maybe they're your advisory group. You decide how you interact with them, but you need to surround yourself with people that have good quality service and knowledge that can help you get to where you want to be.
Yeah, and if you're having trouble finding those kind of folks, I would highly suggest, and I'm sure Scott would too, check out the local inventors group, right? Get in there and ask, say, I really need a guy that can, or a girl that can do 3D drawings, because I just need to figure some out, and then I got to test them, and I need a guy that can do a prototype. And they quite often they can fill you in or say, oh, a mentor might come along and say, this is the direction you want to go. Now you're really ahead of yourself or whatever, right? So you're getting that input, that feedback, because if you're doing things not within a process and a plan, you're going to run out of time, especially if you don't have the help, because all that stuff just takes tremendous amount of time, effort, and quite often money, right?
It does. And what we have found with the inventor groups is they are a very good focus group. Yeah. I mean, they will tell you exactly what they're thinking, sometimes whether you want to hear it or not. So, yeah. But they will give you the feedback, and it's also a good place for you to practice your pitch. Yes. As we have learned, and some of them even have pitch competitions, and that's important. And I think I will add to that team for the last one is your investor. Make sure you team with an investor that brings not just the money that you need to get you where you need to be, but some knowledge, some skills, some networking, some distribution, whatever you need to get you there. Make sure that they're not just coming with the money, that they're going to truly be a partner to help you get all the way to the end.
Absolutely. You see the most successful products that get funded are often that. It's a good teamwork, great product, and then they just roll with it. And when you're looking for those specialists too, talking about the investors as well, in anybody that you're teaming up with, look for great quality work and make sure you can stay on budget to really plan that good. It's a good idea to get quotes as you go, right? And see farmer work product. There's all kinds of things that go into it, but just so important to have those good teammates.
Yeah. And once you get connected into the Inventors arena, so to speak, people will know. You can call people and they'll say, oh yeah, I know a packaging guy who can help you. So you'll get referrals from good quality people over time.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what we design our program around too. It's kind of the things we've talked about today for efficiency and doing it as a process, getting the patent search out of the way and then evaluating the market and so on down the line. We also offer different services related to invention development and business development. You can check out the website, theinventorsarena.com, and see what you think, what you need help with possibly.
Yeah, I would say that getting to market isn't easy.
Certainly not.
But it should be fun, and it should be a path that you continue the journey all the way to the end. And you do that because you start with the end and you know what success looks like. Yeah. And if you identify that early on, then you surround yourself with the right people and you have your plan and your people and your process in place. Now you're going to be efficient and you're going to be effective.
Yeah. You build that great plan and then you follow it through, right? And that's, you almost cannot be successful when it's that way, but it's a lot of effort to get there, but without it just really narrows it down where it makes it tough. So I would say, as always, don't feel all alone in your efforts. I know that lots of inventors kind of get feeling like it's only me and I'm trying so hard and I'm getting frustrated and nobody's buying it yet and I don't know who to market it to. There's so many things that goes on.
And those are all part of the journey,
right? So, and I would say work your best efforts to get it so that it's not necessarily easy, but so that it's doable and enjoyable. Yeah. And like we say so many times, that involves a team. And no, it isn't easy. Have that mindset, but it certainly can be done. And you can't do it all, but it can be done. And it must be done the right way. Don't be taking shortcuts. You want it very professional. And as always, we want to help with driving innovation. That's part of why the channel's here. That's part of why the course was developed. Proper presentation and getting funding can change your world. So we would really hope that you could see the fruits of that.
Yeah, I think being very effective and very efficient and having that mindset going into it are kind of parts of the formula for success to get you all the way to that end.
Yes.
Because it is a journey, and it's a long journey to some degree, but it can be condensed in time if you get the right team, the right resources and everything in place, and you can be very effective and efficient throughout that journey. And we're here to help along with that journey. We present at inventor groups all the time, so you may see us at your local inventor group. If you are unaware of one that's close to you, then you can go to our website at theinventorsarena.com. scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, we have a map with inventor groups, and you may see us there, but we highly recommend that you go there because there might be somebody in the room who can help you be more effective or efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. Get tied in. If nothing else, get that encouragement, encourage others, get mentor help, be a mentor.
Yeah.
It's just get involved in that. It's like the lifestyle of it, right? And it's very effective because keeps you in the right mindset when the days are a little tougher or when they're great. You got somebody to celebrate it with or share it with regardless. And we're always here. You know, we really like when you folks send in your suggestions for what you'd like for content. We're always trying to deliver really good value, interesting subject matter related to inventing and inventions and inventors and that whole deal. So anyway, appreciate if you subscribe and like and thumbs up would be great. And we'll keep delivering the content and bring us up on the algorithm.
The Inventors.